Hey, Heartrepreneurs, what's up? Welcome back. Good to be with you. Good to see you. And today I am so excited because we have a guest that we're going to be chatting with, and you can ask any questions that you have of our guest. Just make sure that you allow StreamYard to show your comments. So you just have to click so that StreamYard can show that you're here and we can respond to you. Tanner Smith is with me. He is on top of things here at Heartrepreneur Agency. He is our digital marketing expert. And today we want to help you understand digital marketing better and answer any questions that you have on digital marketing. So Tanner, I thought maybe you could just kick off and talk to us a little bit about digital marketing and the state of things today.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, glad to be here with you guys. I've had conversations with many of you. I've basically been behind the scenes working with Terry now for over 3 years, handling almost every single aspect of her business. Terry, we've worked on websites together, landing pages, paid ads, everything from Facebook to Google to YouTube, all your sales copy. I'm excited to be here. And first and foremost, I think, where we're at right now with digital marketing is it's very, very overwhelming for people. They hear digital marketing and it can mean so many things. And especially with, coaches and consultants, they are frequently on social media. So they're getting hit up with tons of different ads, tons of different offers. It seems just super overwhelming. So one thing that I, think one of the reasons we started Heartrepreneur Agency, and Terry, you can kind of attest to this too, is that as a coach and a consultant, we want you to focus on your area of genius, right? And really own what you are an expert at. And that's by creating, impact and breakthrough sessions with your ideal clients and customers. It's tough when you take your eye off of the ball from doing that, when you actually start trying to go into something completely different that you're not an expert in. It's tough to stay focused and it's tough to get results. So part of digital marketing is knowing enough to be dangerous. Sometimes that means just knowing that you need to be doing it, but then also, leveraging an expert and creating a relationship with somebody, maybe it's Heartrepreneur Agency or somebody else that can really be a team, and you can lean on their expertise to help you move the ball forward in the needle in your own business. Are we getting any questions in yet? I can talk all day about this
Yeah,
stuff.
so far, no. And what are the things that I'll just say as folks are coming in? What is most important in my experience is whether you're a coach, consultant, health and wellness person, or whatever form of business transformation you provide through your products or services, keep in your area of brilliance. I am not brilliant at doing all of the components of my business. So what I teach and what my client family members do is we learn to sit in the CEO chair and we do what a CEO would do. And then we have other things taken care of by people who are smarter and better at that. That's their zone of brilliance. So we can stay in our lane. I always ask my client family members, what do you want to be doing all day? Why did you get into the business that you're in? Did you do it to create podcasts and blogs and tons of books and ebooks and articles and content and post all over social media? Or did you do it because within your heart, you really are a heartrepreneur who wants to serve people and make a difference and create transformation? And if that's what you desire, then there's parts of your business that you don't do as the CEO. You turn that over because you're creating a company, not a business where you're trading time for money. Anything about that you want to speak to, Tanner?
Yes, absolutely. So, first and foremost, 100% agree with everything that's been said. I'd like to dive a little bit deeper into talking about because the question we get frequently is, okay, well, I know I'm not an expert at digital marketing, but where do I even start? Like, how do I get started? How do I start to, move the needle in my business? Where do I even know? Where do I go from here? So really, we have created a proprietary process and system that helps to get clarity around what a coach or consultant needs to do to help identify where they're at so they can see exactly where they need to be moving forward. So we break it down into 3 phases. So phase number 1 is what we call the foundation. The foundation in today's, age in 2022 going into 2023 next year, we have to make sure that you have a digital version of yourself online, right? If you don't exist digitally with a website and or a funnel or with some form of social media presence, even if you don't have a huge following, then anything that you do, right, with marketing, trying to get discovery calls, trying to get prospects and people and leads, it's going to feel like you're fighting an uphill battle. And the reason for that is because people have been scammed. We're accustomed to not trusting in people or things. So having that phase one foundation laid is absolutely key. It's incredibly critical so that you overcome some of that initial objection or doubt that people might have regarding you with your business, with your offer, with your service, with once again your area of brilliance, right?
Mhm.
So part of the phase one foundation, there's really three things. Like I said, we'll dive into that. One is a website, one is social media presence, and one is probably a client acquisition funnel of some type. Now, let's break down the client acquisition funnel and the website. A website is different than a client acquisition funnel because a website is something that just is kind of a digital brochure. It's not meant to create a ton of traffic or a ton of leads for you. More than anything, it's something that you can use as an education tool where you can kind of have a North Star of what you do, stating clearly who you are, your story, why you're special, your unique sales proposition, or your core unique positioning statement, as as we teach Terry. That needs to be crystal clear. And if it's not clear, and you know what you do and how you're different from other people, then once again we got to understand that that's going to be doing you a disservice because part of laying that foundation is key that people can identify what you do and how you're different clearly. Now, the client acquisition funnel is different from a website in the sense that that is not something that's a digital brochure that you kind of populate and it's just there. A client acquisition funnel is meant to drive traffic, get data, test, tweak, and continue to revise. It should be a living and a breathing organism of some sort. So we're testing all of the time with Terry's funnels. We're putting different videos in her funnels. We're changing the copy. We're tweaking the color scheme. We're adding, testimonials and different things there. We're also split testing in real time. So we might have a variation of page A over here and another variation over here. And we're split testing, we're sending 50-50 traffic so that we can see which funnel page is performing better. Once we get that data, the more people we have coming to those landing pages, the easier it is for us to create tweaks and improvements over time to continue to get better conversions. So it's super important though that you have a client acquisition funnel as well as a website. They both are for different things and they both play different roles in your business. Let's talk about that third piece in the foundation in that phase one, which is your social media. This is kind of, not a one size fits all. It's different for different people, depending on what you do, how you serve your clients, also dependent on how comfortable you are with social media. Some people really love to create content and videos and to put it out there. Other people really struggle with it. So the recommendation that I have when it comes to social media is you should be doing and posting as much content as you possibly can to where you feel a little bit uncomfortable. If it's something that you enjoy doing it and you're creating a lot of content, then by all means, the more the merrier here. But you want to be trying to get out of your comfort zone and posting content and creating content so that once again, you can start to build rapport with your audience. If you don't have the social media piece, somebody might go to your website and see all of these great things about you. They might go to your client acquisition funnel, see that you have a really cool offer and product, but they might look at you on social media and then there's nothing there. You see how that would detract from your offer or your product or your service. It might create a little bit of hesitancy for somebody to trust you and to move forward down the sales process there. So that's really important in terms of phase one. So going back to the original question, where do I get started? How do I know where I need to be? If you don't have a website, or if you don't have a client acquisition funnel, or if you're not posting it all on social media, you would be considered in phase one, right? Now, maybe you have a website that needs to be revised. Great. You can work on that. Maybe you are always constantly tweaking and updating your client acquisition funnel. That's okay, right? It's not a totally check the box thing. You can always be improving and perfecting your process. But let's make sure that you understand that you have to have those three things before you move into phase two. If not, everything in phase two is going to be honestly worthless. Like you might as well just pack it up, head home, and not even worry about it. So phase two is all about traffic in the different traffic streams, the different traffic opportunities that are available to you online and available to us through digital marketing. So obviously, Terry, you teach reverse marketing, guerrilla marketing tactics. People that are in your education know that you don't have to spend a lot of money on ads to get traffic. And actually, that's what we recommend a lot of coaches do in the beginning is once they've got phase one laid, you start to do some of these strategies to get traffic, get people to your offer, start to book breakthrough sessions and get leads before you dump a bunch of money onto these different platforms like Facebook or Google. And the reason for that is because we want you to get some data and get testing and tweaking, because spending money on ads is never a solution for something that's not working. However, if you find that you're getting organic traffic, you're getting some breakthrough sessions and getting some clients on board, you're getting some data back that what you have is valuable to your ideal demographic, well, then it's easy to scale that and take it to paid ads, because what that does is it helps to dump gasoline on what is working, right? So part of phase two is implementing some reverse marketing strategies, guerrilla marketing, and we can go much further into that, Terry, but I don't know if we want to talk about that. But then once you've kind of got that little nest egg going and maybe a handful of clients and some wins, then it's time to start to duplicate yourself. Because the challenge, I'm sure a lot of you coaches out there are feeling that, oh, like I can do this and I can, do breakthrough sessions and get some traffic and get some leads, but it's like taking all day, every day to, have me communicating with people in different Facebook groups, DMing people, responding to emails, maybe doing cold calling or reaching out to people in my network. And it just feels like it's always a grind. We don't want you to feel that way. We want you to graduate from that, which is what Terry's done. So what Terry's done is she's taken her zone of brilliance and genius with what she offers, and we can duplicate herself using paid ads. Paid ads is an instrument and a tool for us to essentially take Terry and her influence and expand that circle of influence to thousands, even millions of people. I mean, we have tens of millions of impressions, millions of unique individual people have been reached over our tenure of running ads for her. And once again, that traffic is super essential. So there's a couple different traffic strategies I think coaches and consultants need to be aware of. Number one, Facebook ads. And when I say Facebook ads, or Meta as they rebranded, but people still refer to it as Facebook. That's anything inside of Facebook's audience network. So what does that mean? It means WhatsApp, Instagram, any other apps or platforms that they might have. Oculus is actually a placement that Facebook is starting to experiment with virtual reality. So anything that is owned by Meta technically could be a Meta ad or a Facebook ad. So some people are like, well, should I do Instagram ads or should I do Facebook ads? Well, they're the same thing. They're just different placements inside of that network. The other thing is Google. And Google is super powerful in its own right, because you got to recognize that as the largest search engine, Google only has one job, and that is to answer the questions for its users. So when you go to Google and you type in the search bar, how to grow my coaching business or something like that, right? Google wants to put that type of a query in front of a person that can help solve it. So those are some of the keywords that we're doing for Terry to try to get in front of that traffic. So the intent of people might be much closer towards somebody buying or ready to make a buying decision on Google. However, it's also more expensive. You're paying on average a lot more per click or a lot more per individual unique session to a website or a landing page than you might be on Facebook. However, Facebook is more of a disruptive advertising platform. The way that works is it's almost kind of like a door-to-door salesman, right? And, hate them or love them, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money, a lot of businesses that flourish using door-to-door sales. The reason why is because you're approaching a business that may or may not have put a query in or an intent into your product or service, but by knocking on the door or by showing your ad scrolling on their feed, you might trigger something inside of them that's like, oh, actually, I am interested in that, or I am kind of looking for something like that. So you can kind of start the process there. However, because of that, there's a lot more retargeting, usually more steps in that sales process or in the advertising cycle to get people to take action. So a lot of times it might be you might need top of funnel ads, middle of funnel ads, and bottom of funnel ads. Those are some things that in the marketing space, us as marketers talk about. TOFU, MOFU, and BOFU. That's an abbreviation for top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. To retarget, help move people through the process down your funnel towards making a buying decision. There's also some really interesting, plays depending on the industry or the niche for a coach or consultant to play with LinkedIn. LinkedIn might be a great place for you to go. However, on average, the cost per impression or the cost you have to pay LinkedIn to have your ad shown to somebody is much higher than on Facebook or Instagram. So if you don't have a large marketing budget, if you're just wanting to get started, maybe you have some momentum and some traction with what you're currently doing, and you've gotten that guerrilla, that organic traffic. I think a good place to try to go would be towards Facebook ads to start to just experiment to see kind of building your audience and moving those people down your funnel might be effective for you before you go into a LinkedIn or a Google strategy. There's also TikTok. TikTok is a very interesting platform right now at the moment with, kind of how many users are coming onto the platform. It's being widely adopted by people of all ages. In fact, the fastest growing demographic right now on TikTok is between the age of 35 and 50. So a year ago, it was for young kids messing around, girls dancing. Now there's actually a lot of business owners, a lot of coaches, a lot of coaching opportunities that are happening. It's a very fast growing platform. So, if you do have some extra money that you would like to test and try to figure out and validate a traffic source, something like TikTok might be a good place to get started. You might have an early mover's advantage there still, as a lot of people are going on TikTok. So the thing with phase two is something that really never stops. A lot of people think, well, hang on a second, like how much money am I going to have to spend? You might want to tweak your thinking and your logic a little bit around phase two, because if it's working and you're getting the traffic, why would you stop? Right? You shouldn't ever stop. In fact, you should be thinking, how much can I spend? And so leveraging these platforms is a great way to, once again, duplicate yourself and really grow your brand, grow your impressions. The more money that you can spend, the more traffic that you can get, the more people you can get seeing your brand or your product or service, the more that's going to elevate your entire brand. Now, moving into phase three is about long-term organic traffic strategies to help supplement what you're doing with phase number two. The reason why we don't recommend that you do phase three before phase two is because if you're not able to generate revenue, if you're not able to get traction, if you're not able to really get the ball moving in your business, it probably doesn't make sense to invest in long-term organic strategies. So of course, with phase three, I'm talking about search engine optimization. So anytime, for those of you that don't know much about SEO, I'll try to keep it, as valuable and as educational as I possibly can without getting too nerdy. But essentially, right, the more you're able to build a domain authority or a presence on Google or other search engines around certain keywords in your niche, the more that Google is going to be able to rank you above other sites. The goal, though, is it's kind of all or nothing. If you don't get to the front page of a search engine, you're not going to get any traffic, hardly any, and it's almost not worth it. So it's something that takes a significant amount of time and investment to get to the front page for certain keywords. Now, once again, depends on the niche, depends on the keywords you're trying to target, depends on the volume, the competition of that keyword. But, it could take anywhere from 6 8, 10, 12 months or longer to get to the front page of a keyword. However, once you're there, right, it's not a matter of just, okay, well, we're there on the front page now, we can be done. There's still some optimization that needs to happen there to make sure that you stay there. But once you're there, all of the clicks that you're going to be getting from being on the front page of a search engine is completely free. So as opposed to paying per click or Google PPC ads, that's what pay per click stands for. Each time somebody clicks on an ad that's promoted, you have to pay Google, right? When you get to the front page of Google, somebody clicks on your website because Google's promoting you because they recognize you as a thought leader in that space relative to that keyword. You don't pay. So phase 3 can be super, super powerful because when you combine it with the phase 2, when you combine it with the phase 1, and you continue to optimize each one of these phases in tandem, and you have a long-term organic strategy in play, right? You'll be able to supplement everything that you're doing from your paid side and help to get much more traffic. So anyways, I know I'm talking, that was a long, like 15, 20-minute tangent on the different phases, but that's essentially what we believe in at Heartrepreneur Agency. So every single service that we have breaks down into one of those 3 phases. So people that want to work with us, or coaches or consultants that might be, struggling with, where do I get started? Where am I at? I will help you understand, those phases. And if you are in phase 2, great. You might be interested in, getting paid ads and helping to even continue to have, funnel optimization so that the pages that you're driving the traffic to are optimized and we continue to get traction there. If you're like, hey, I've got both of those things in place, I want to start really owning, my SEO and getting a lot more organic traffic, then great, you're totally in phase 3. A lot of you might just say, I just got to get started with something. I got to build my digital presence. That would be phase 1.
Awesome. So what Tanner just did, and I just kind of sum it up, was he gave you all 3 phases. And just think about this, right? So I'm a business consultant. Do I want to spend my time, money, and energy learning all of these things and then having to implement all 3 phases in my business? And my answer is clearly no. I want to spend my time, according to my little bracelet here, serving and creating. That's what I do. I serve and create my client family members, and I help them have more business success. If I'm spending my time day and night learning all of this stuff and then having to implement all of this, this would actually detract from making a difference for my clients. So we have a Facebook user who just said, you didn't give your name to StreamYard, so I don't know who you are. Came in a bit late. Is organic phase 1, and how long do you do that for, please? So if we can respond. And whoever that is, and anybody else, if your name isn't showing, you just have to give StreamYard permission. No worries. Go ahead, Tanner.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. No worries for showing up late. We're happy that you're here. Phase number 1 is actually all about your digital presence. So these are the assets that you have that kind of act as a digital version of yourself online. This would be a website, your social media profiles, and a client acquisition funnel. Phase 3 is going to be the organic stuff. So that's SEO and any other, search engine optimization and strategies that you're using to build organic traffic streams. This could also be, depending on who you are, maybe an affiliate play for you. Maybe there's an affiliate play, which could be a long-term organic stream and strategy for you. We don't personally at Heartrepreneur Agency manage or create or help people with their affiliate programs. However, that would also fit into phase 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Julie says, as a business owner, you must outsource to survive. SEO needs an expert. 100%. I mean, just learning SEO can be a full-time job. I have a client family member right now, and she's going through a course learning Facebook ads. And it's been a long time, not just a bunch of money, and a lot of time and energy on this. Like, instead of spending money and time on learning Facebook ads, I mean, that's not the business you're in. Why not spend your time, money, and energy, most importantly, serving client family members? And, it's really important to do that. StreamYard has a little thing that you can click to give your name. Don't worry about that. And Regina says she agrees with Julie, which is, as a business owner, you must outsource to survive, and SEO clearly needs an expert. Great.
Yep.
All right.
I would say SEO with that as well is is very complicated, more so than maybe some of the other strategies.
Yeah.
However, it's not as strategic, believe it or not. It just is more menial, kind of in the weeds, a lot of manual tasks that need to be done. So especially that needs to be outsourced. The challenge with something like Facebook ads is once you learn how to do it, it might not take a ton of time. It really might not. In fact, it might just be as much as going in there and pushing a couple buttons on a day-to-day basis. However, the amount of kind of education and effort that you need to put into to kind of get over the hump and learn how to do it is significant. So anyways, yeah, good point there, Julie.
Yeah. And it's really important. I think, Tanner, you said something so important. I like the way you broke it up into the 3 phases. We like to take, thank you very much. That's where, folks, you can click in order to get your name showing up here. So, there are 3 phases, and we don't take, and that's a real difference at Heartrepreneur Agency. We don't take a cookie cutter approach. It's not going to be every single person needs this. It's going to be, let's take a look at where your business is and where your digital marketing assets really sit. Let's analyze that, and then let's customize what you need. And you might need this, and at some point you may expand. So I had a lot of organic stuff that was working. We created some really cool funnels, and we continued to test and tweak. Then we moved over to Google Ads and to YouTube ads, and we're experimenting with some other things. And we're doing the phases in order, in a logical, sequenced fashion. And just as an FYI, like this morning, we have 3 leads directly on our main website. Now, I can tell you, prior to this last couple of months, my whole experience of having websites, and I've had a lot of them, is websites have been very static. It's like a brochure. People can see I'm real. And now we're actually getting leads from the website because we've done phase 1, phase 2, and now we're on to phase 3. So I just want you to all, whoever is here, to really be thinking about, you need to understand where your digital marketing is, where you're at, what phase you're at, what needs to be implemented, and when, in a logical fashion, without a cookie cutter approach. And I'll be transparent, Tanner. Listen, there's a reason why Heartrepreneur decided to create a done-for-you, results-driven digital marketing agency for coaches and consultants. And that is my own client family members, and here's a true one from Julie, is they were spending so much time, money, and energy on buying all these courses and programs, and then trying to learn how to do Facebook ads and TikTok ads and YouTube ads, and paying people for outrageous money for SEO that didn't even get them anything, or somebody telling them your website banner needs to be this. Website banner isn't going to bring you traffic, right? So I also agree with Julie. You also need someone watching over your key performance indicators, making sure you're not wasting money. Tanner, working with me here at Heartrepreneur LLC, we have turned off some ads that were underperforming. And then, we've doubled down on the ads that were really performing. So in my view, if you really want to sit in the CEO chair, if you don't want to trade time for money, if you prefer to do the work you love and work with your client family members and make a difference for them, you got in the business of transformation, sit in that chair and go transform lives. I don't want to be an expert in digital marketing and learning all of these different things. I want to make sure that I wake up every day serving client family members, making a difference for them, and that we have the kind of traffic that I need to serve and support folks. So I just wanted to get into that for a moment.
Yeah. One thing I'd add to that too, Terry, and it's just talking a little bit more about the 3 phases, is that everything that we do is specifically tailored to coaches and consultants. These 3 phases aren't exactly what you would do if you had, for example, a physical product or an e-commerce product, or if you had, a local brick and mortar business, for example. Like, this is specifically dialed into coaches and consultants, aimed at getting results as fast as they possibly can and creating consistency and scalability throughout that process. And part of that has been, a result of Terry and her experience with working with over 6,000 coaches and being in this industry and space for how long is it now, Terry? Like
almost 33 years. Having our
almost 33
third
years.
anniversary. Yeah.
So yeah, everything that we have done there, I mean, it seems really simple, which is the point. We want to keep things simple. And if you're not able to keep things simple, then maybe you don't truly understand it. But there's been a lot of expertise, a lot of time, a lot of money and research and just experiences that have gone into creating those three phases.
Yeah. And one of the things that's an advantage for our folks that come in and want the agency to take over and handle things for them is that built in the background are those almost 33 years of coaching and consulting with about 6,000 client family members, because my processes and my procedures are kind of hidden in there. And so Tanner knows how we do business inside and out. Tanner's been managing, as he said, Heartrepreneur LLC for about 3 years now. So we know that we aced it. We know how to do digital marketing in this space. And now we're ready to do it for others. We're results driven, based upon Tanner's knowledge and my coaching and consulting knowledge in this industry. And so I really do believe not only do we tailor all three phases to coaches and consultants, and if you're a transformational person, we have some people in the health and wellness space that don't actually call themselves a coach or a consultant. However, they're giving that kind of advice. And I can't find another digital marketing agency that is results driven and that only works with people in the coaching and consulting space. This all came about as client family members coming to us and saying, I just want someone to do this for me because I want to do what I do best. I want to sit in the CEO chair. I want to build a company, not a business trading time for money. And I actually want to spend my time doing what I got here to do, right? I left my corporate job 30 something years ago because I wanted to be a business consultant. I did not want to be a digital marketer. That's not what I choose to do. So I just wanted to give some food for thought there.
Yeah. We've been talking a lot, but I mean, do you guys have questions? I mean, at this point in time, I would love to just really answer any questions that you guys might have, and specifically maybe talk about how you guys can, get results and maybe help you guys out there. Who has questions for us?
So who has questions? Feel free to ask. I'll put them on the screen. We will answer. I believe that in the Heartrepreneur group, I know. I can't see the comments here. StreamYard no longer lets the comments show from groups. It's one of those meta things that they don't allow anymore.
I love meta.
I love meta. I can see those of you who are either on my Facebook business page or who are on YouTube. I can't see the group chat. So what we'll have to do after is post your questions. If you're in the Facebook group right now, just go ahead and post your questions there. And when the live has ended, Tanner and I will go in and we'll answer any and all questions. And if you want us to take a look at what you've got going on and review what you have going on, this is not a sales pitch in disguise, and we don't even know that we could help you or that you need us until we get on a call. And it's not a sales pitch in disguise. It truly is a discovery call. Let's discover where you're at digitally. Let's give you some ideas and suggestions and some tools. If it makes sense, we'll extend our hand and tell you how we would work with you. If it doesn't make sense, we'll also tell you that. So you can go right over here. You can book a call right over here. And I know one thing is you will walk out of the call having learned quite a bit. Regina says, as I reset what I do, I think I'm somewhere between phase 1 and 2. Anything you want to respond to there?
Yeah, so that's actually really common. A lot of people, they say, hey, listen, I've got the website and I've got kind of some social media stuff going here. And I'm, kind of doing this organic stuff and reaching out to people and trying to do breakthrough sessions. That's actually probably where most people are at, somewhere between phase 1 and 2. In that type of a situation, we would need to look at exactly what's going on, but probably we'd want to maybe revamp your website, polish and or create that client acquisition funnel. And then from there, you can decide if, hey, now that I've got a good solid website and a client acquisition funnel, I can just continue to double down on my organic efforts for a while. if you need more revenue, or if you're in a position where you're not ready quite to kind of hit the ground running hard with paid ads, or listen, if you don't have anybody signed up yet as a client, you're not onboarding a client or have done in the past, I would recommend that you would never actually run in paid ads yet. Like we talked about earlier, paid ads only accelerate what you're currently doing and help to continue the momentum. It dumps gasoline on the little fire that you're building organically first. So, Regina, in your situation, I'd probably say, if we were to get on a call, how many clients do you have? What is that looking like? You know, if you have been onboarding clients and doing breakthrough sessions, maybe let's look at scaling that, duplicating yourself, and looking at maybe getting some paid ads going for you. I will say one other thing too with that, Terry, is a lot of people that we've talked with, you know, hundreds and thousands of people really over the last couple of years. One of the main concerns they have is they've got maybe a painful or bad experience in the past. I worked with somebody, or we hired another agency, or we were doing something with somebody else and it just ended up working out. We paid them a ton of money. With Heartrepreneur Agency, we want to get you guys results. What that means is, yeah, if we're building a website out or a client acquisition funnel, we'll pay per project. Like we'll quote that whole thing out and deliver that. But we're not going to lock people down into contracts. We believe in delivering value, you know, month after month when it comes to some of these other services that are an ongoing thing. So if there's seasonality to a product, you know, maybe you slow down in the wintertime or pick back up later on. If you're doing live launches, you know, if you have familial challenges or problems that come up, like that's not an excuse to not get started and to not grow your business. A lot of people are waiting for that perfect time to get going, recognizing that by waiting, they're actually just kicking the can further down the road on not getting results. So, you know, we can do a la carte for you guys. We can also do, you know, retainer-based projects and services depending on what you guys want and need. And really, we're wanting to tailor that and customize it to what you guys need most in your business.
Yeah, so I'll just speak to that for a moment. So nothing is cookie cutter, right? So Tanner had talked about things that you need, like website, social media, and a client acquisition funnel. You may have a website and it may not be performing, or it might not be lead generating, or it might not even be getting clicks, right? I know so many people have websites and they get no traffic. You might be posting all over social media and commenting. You might have the deadest Facebook group in the world, just as an example. So your posts are going nowhere. Your social media is not bringing you anything. And your client acquisition funnel might be broken, where people aren't coming in. So we're going to take a look at everything with you, and we're going to make sure of each piece, what you have, what you need, and do it in a logical order so that there is time to do what Tanner said before, which is test, tweak, and revise. We don't just put something up and go, that's it, it's done. We have to go back. I'll give you an example, something really basic and simple. LinkedIn. I have changed my bio numerous times. Why? I changed my bio numerous times to make it better, to put more keywords in there. And then I look at my profile, I'm like, wow, I got a lot more views on that. So you really need someone taking a look at what's working well, and you double down on that, like Tanner said, and what's not quite right yet, you need to tweak that. And yeah, Regina, I would definitely say have a chat with Tanner, especially where you're at right now. Julie says getting the right agency to help you is critical, because there are so many agencies out there that overpromise and underdeliver. And I'll be very transparent. Prior to meeting Tanner, I had hired one agency for $70,000 and I got zero ROI. And I mean zero, crickets, and they were non-responsive to me. I hired a second agency for, I think, a $17,000 or $18,000. And not only did those ads go flat, they really didn't speak in my voice. And when I would see the ad, I was like, oh, I don't talk to people that way. It didn't feel right. So I wasn't even attracting the right people. The reason that I literally have been like over the moon with what Tanner and I have created is because we're not over-promising, we're not under-delivering, and we're being really careful about who is someone that we can truly help. So when we chat with you, we're not looking to close a sale. we're not looking to overcome your objections. We're really checking to see, can we help you? And if so, how can we help you? And it might be that we can't help you. And we've been honest with some folks about that. In fact, we had a couple of those calls last week, right? So my best recommendation, and Regina definitely do this, is just go ahead and book a call. It's at heartrepreneuragency.com/discovery-call. And we'll review your digital marketing at no charge. And I want to be really clear, this is not a sales pitch in disguise. I'm curious about what you're offering. Great. Then just go ahead and book a call, because we're not offering you anything until we know if we can help you and what you need, and if you're the right person for us to make an offer to. So just go over to heartrepreneuragency.com and you can book your call there, and then we can have a conversation and see how we can help you. We have a couple more minutes. Anything else you want to add, Tanner?
Yeah, with that, I mean, I really enjoy talking with coaches and consultants that are trying to grow their businesses. And, first and foremost, I want to lead with value. I think what we're trying to do at Heartrepreneur Agency is honestly just make your guys' lives easier. So once again, bring it back to the very beginning of the conversation so that you guys can focus on your area of brilliance, your area of expertise. Truly, I believe to my core that if you get distracted trying to expand that area of expertise, wearing all of the hats in your business, trying to do all of the things yourself, you're going to have a very, very, very difficult time trying to get traction, trying to get momentum, trying to execute the strategies the way that you need to actually get results. It's not going to happen. So focus on what you do best, your area of brilliance, your area of expertise. And, if whether it's us, whether maybe it's somebody else, I don't care. We would just love to help you and point you in the right direction if we can't, if we're not a good fit for each other.
Yeah. And we're very laid back. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. And we're very honest. And we had some very lucrative folks show up last week that wanted our help, and we just weren't a good fit. And so we had a conversation, and Tanner was able to give them some direction. We don't know if you're a good fit or not. You don't know. So as long as you're open and curious, and if you're coming from a place of saying, I really want to focus on transforming the lives of my client family members, then we'd love to chat with you. So don't forget, those of you watching on Heartrepreneurs with Terry Levine, the Done For You Marketing Facebook group, just go ahead and keep putting your questions and comments there. Those of you watching later, just put #replay. Tanner and I will be going in. We'll be responding to your comments there. Facebook has changed things and won't let third-party apps like StreamYard allow us to see your comments. Meta. And they're in charge and we're not. So just go over to heartrepreneuragency.com. You'll see there's a booking link. I'll drop the link in the Facebook group as well. And let's have a conversation. In the meantime,
Regina just booked a call. I just saw Regina come up.
Good job, Regina. Good job, Regina. Way to go. Let me say one thing real quick. As someone who has worked with over 6,000 coaches and consultants and has helped create, I don't know how many that are doing 6 figures and a ton that are doing 7, and I know 2 that are doing 8. I will tell you that the biggest thing that I see in this industry is coaches and consultants not sticking to coaching and consulting. They're learning to be marketers and salespeople and digital marketing experts, and they're spending all their time away from the reason they got into the business, to impact clients and transform lives. So if that's you, we'd love to chat with you. We'd love to see if we can help you. And I'm really glad, Regina, that you booked. That's excellent. You'll have a great call with Tanner. Any final shout outs, Tanner?
No, just looking forward to speaking with you guys. And like Terry was saying, we'll go back through and answer your questions. So feel free to take the last couple minutes here to put any questions if you're on the fence about something, and we'll do the best we can to help you guys out.
Beautiful. So again, if you're in the group, just go ahead and keep posting. We'll be in there in just a little bit. We'll respond to your questions. If you're watching this later, just put #replay. So we also know that you got to see this, and hopefully this has created value. We're here to create value for you to understand your role as the CEO of your company. You are not a person trading time for dollars, or if you are, you will not have a long-term anything. When I co-authored a book years ago with Stephen Covey said, start with the end in mind, okay? And the end in mind for most coaches and consultants is nothing. I want to help people. I want to help people. They don't have an end in mind. So what happens when you don't have an end in mind is that you can't sell your business, you can't retire, you can't pass down your business to your family, you can't create a wealth dynasty or a legacy. And if at some point you can't work for any number of circumstances, physical, mental, emotional, the money isn't there anymore. So we want to make sure you can sit in the CEO chair, start with the end in mind, and do what you do best, transform people's lives as you create a company sitting in the CEO chair. And yeah, Regina, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you mentioned the full service agency, because I'm laughing as you said that. I used to, about 10 years ago, I had one company that was handling Facebook ads. I had another company that was posting on social media. I had another company that was doing email marketing. I think I had 6 different agencies, and none of them were speaking to each other. And the messages that were going out, I was confused. I'm like, how will my audience ever know who I am with so many confusing messages? So we want to be 100% aligned and really make a difference for you and your business going forward. Heartrepreneur means we help you so you can pass forward and help more people. So if you want to help more people, we're the agency to help you do that. Thank you all for being here. Tanner, thank you. This was so helpful. I love that you covered the 3 phases so clearly. And let me just put the last one up from Julie. As a coaching consultant, you must stay in your lane. Area of genius. Yes, big yes.
Perfect.
If
Couldn't
most
agree more.
of what you do is marketing, you'll have no time to coach. And the truth is, you're right, Julie, you will not make money and you won't impact lives. So if you want to create more influence, more impact, and more income, we're extending our hand. Have a conversation. Let's see if we can help you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks, Tanner. Bye, everyone.